So I reiterate here, the bill is dead.
The story of this great city is about the years before this night. We are free!
Hey everybody, it's a new episode of Oh Hong Kong. I forgot how any of this
Yeah,
works.
exactly.
We were just talking and you're
hold
clapping.
on, clap. Give me a round of applause. No, one applause. Just give me one clap.
Back together, back again after a
Exactly.
long breakup.
Exactly. We went for therapy.
Yes.
We had a distance relationship.
Yes.
He decided I'm staying right here. I decided I want to be here.
Yeah.
And then
We
we
took a
came.
break.
Yeah, we took a break. Came back and said, you know what? This is stupid, man. What are we doing? You know,
we
we're
belong
like,
together.
Exactly.
We belong in this
is,
room.
This is what it should happen. This
Yes.
room is not being used for. It's being wasted. The chi is not right. And ultimately, we were like, okay, you know what? We don't just need the chi. We need the electrostatic energy here.
Yes.
Hence why all the equipment as well.
That they can't really see.
Yeah, they can't
But
really see, but that's okay.
it's what the kids call LDR. Long
LDR.
distance relationship.
Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was a TLDR.
You're
You're like
pretty much-
LDR. I'm like, wait, why? Wait.
Two long distance of a relationship. That actually works too.
That could be, yeah.
TLDR.
So I guess maybe like, okay, what would be a TLDR versus an LDR? Like, the LDR would be what? How many hours flight would be considered long distance for
I
you?
think, it would be considered long distance. Anything above like 4 hours. Anything beyond Singapore, I think.
Okay,
is
yeah.
ridiculous.
That's too far now.
Yeah, that's too far. So, yeah.
So I would say if I had to be a TLDR versus LDR,
Yeah.
it's more to do with the time zone than the distance.
True.
So
yeah.
I will give you an equation. So the time difference is a multiplier.
Yeah.
From the hours of
right.
flight.
Yeah.
So if it's 4 hours to Singapore but there's no time difference, I'm like,
Yeah.
we can live with that.
Yes.
But if it's like, let's say you're in India, that's like a 2 hour difference, let's say.
Yeah.
And we have to fly 8 hours, that's like 16 hours, not
Right.
happening.
Yes.
However, if I had to fly down all the way to, let's say, Auckland for 10 hours, but the difference is 4 hours, I'm like, I can live with that.
Okay, yes.
You know
yeah.
my point? So it's like one of those
So it
weird
depends on like
multipliers.
how much you do of like the calls and stuff like that
Yeah.
versus how you actually how much time you see each other.
Yeah, I would
how
say that. Yeah.
often?
I would say again, this is all a matter of efficiency.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
like if you were to be in a relationship where you have to stay late up at 2 a.m. just
Yeah.
to make that call and be like, "Good morning."
Yes.
I think maybe that might be a problem in the long term.
Or if you're like with someone in like North America, like that's like
Exactly,
the
the
whole
opposite,
day is
yeah.
flipped all the time.
but then again, I mean,
or
North-
South America,
But
yeah.
North America is actually better than, let's say, UK, because it's like a 7-hour difference. Where
Yeah,
it's kind of like
true.
your evening, but they're morning.
Yeah,
And then you
yeah.
kind of go like, I won't bother you in the morning. I'll call you in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah,
And then
right in with your long distance stories. We
Yeah.
obviously have done some long distance stuff before.
Yeah.
But you listener/viewer have some. Hey, we forgot to even introduce our. I mean, you're
Oh, yeah,
tuning
what is
in.
this?
You already know
Yeah.
who we are. But
Hopefully.
Vivek is back.
Exactly. My name is Vivek Mahbubani. You can find me online at Funny Vivek, along with this person next to me.
I am Muhammad Magdi at the other Muhammad on the things.
Yeah, I mean, we actually forgot that this being on Spotify now.
Yes.
People
So
may be like randomly clicking, or it's one of those recommendation things.
yes, yes. So
and they're
we've
like,
got
what the hell am I listening to?
obviously, if you're listening now, you either know about the change or you didn't even notice, but it's still working. So in case you're watching, you're like, hey, I didn't catch the audio episode for a while. We have moved all we call the RSS feed to Spotify. So that basically means that Spotify is the main source, and
Yeah.
then they outsource it basically to Apple and whatever the other things.
So they're the agent, basically.
They are the agent for the last since we started the podcast. It was on Podbean,
Yeah.
and we moved it. Spotify is just like swallowing everything basically, and also they can take the video feed as is, and then you can just put the video feed on Spotify as well.
Oh, yeah.
So people can actually watch it on
Ah.
Spotify as well as YouTube and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Now, those of you who are the new kids on the block who are like, what's this? What's this RSS and
Yeah.
all the APIs and everything?
Yeah.
Just in case you don't know, RSS is real simple syndication. It's information you would like to have if you were at the water cooler.
Or if you are the pop quiz next time.
Pop quiz, you
Yeah.
have that.
Or I didn't know what it stands for.
Yeah, exactly.
You
So-
just looked it up.
I just looked it up because I remember. So RSS feeds used to be how you would subscribe to news websites,
Yes.
and get the headlines only, right?
Yeah.
So I knew about the concept, but I was like, oh, what was the name again? I forget because I
what
remember
does it
RSS.
stand for?
I was
Yeah.
like, RSS is pretty silly. It's like, oh yeah, real simple syndication. I'm like, of course,
Yeah.
no creativity from the IT engineers.
Real
So, like,
simple. Yeah, it's real simple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so,
right over there.
Yeah, okay. So now it's being thing, kind of like if you're listening to a podcast that is based in Hong Kong, a lot of the times we get recommended and the other way around as well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. That's one of the changes that happened since you left. The other major change is that you came back with about 35 kilograms of coffee.
Yeah. So
What's
just
going
to
on
remind
here?
everyone, all right, so what happened is that every year I normally go to Australia to do my tour, and this year, as usual, we start in Melbourne, right?
Yeah.
Now, if everyone's ever paid attention to the podcast, you'll know that my girlfriend likes coffee a lot.
Yes.
And
Well, she
hence-
works in coffee.
She works in the world,
Yeah.
in coffee industry and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it was inevitable that Melbourne was going to be a coffee thing. Now,
Yeah.
in the previous episodes, while Mohammed would mock are you wearing your USB cables? Are you stupid?
Yeah.
Right? Well, let me remind you again. Thanks to my weighing of USB cables, I could include 3 more packets of those, ready-made drip coffee
Yeah.
that came to 75 grams.
Yeah.
Right? However, I have to admit, though,
Uh-oh.
I did get screwed and stopped at which airport? We were going, I think, Brisbane to Sydney.
Right.
And
so
I
it's a
got
domestic flight.
Yeah, domestic flight.
You got stopped because there's too much coffee you had?
No, I don't know. I got stopped because of overweight in my hand carrying.
Ah,
Right.
good.
Okay. So let me. Yeah, exactly. You're like, well, I guess
Yeah.
those cables didn't help. You know what I
Yes.
mean? All right. So. I came back to Hong Kong with a whole bunch of coffee beans. Now, what we did is we had to organize because from Melbourne to back to Hong Kong, there were stops of going to Sydney, Brisbane, and all those places. So I had domestic over there. And the problem is, I would go to Auckland as well. Now, as much as...
Yeah, that's like a different country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's another twist where, okay, technically I can't really take half of this stuff out and come
Yeah.
back in with it. But my girlfriend was staying in Australia. So we had to organize our suitcase where I started taking her clothes in my suitcase.
Yeah.
She kept some of the food in her suitcase while she's in Australia.
Yes.
So I was more worried about getting checked. Like, why do you have like a skirt
Yeah.
in your suitcase, right?
You're
However,
like, why are you not progressive? Maybe
Yeah.
I wear a skirt for my show.
Now,
Yeah.
I was overthinking it.
Yeah.
I forgot that. I was like, wait a second, I'm going back to Australia.
Yeah.
Where they were like, skirt, all right, you come with us in this green channel,
Yeah.
sir. We
Yeah.
respect you. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
of
wait
course.
a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah,
a
you
lot
can
of-
work it to your advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can play over there. Obviously, like, be smart in which airport you're at and which country you're at, because not every country will understand that as well. So the whole thing was I came back with a whole bunch of coffee beans, and now it's just a matter of like fighting the clock where...
So where we are now, I can just like, you can see me, I can just put my hand down
right
here
there,
to anything.
Yeah.
And I will just grab a bag of coffee.
Yeah, right
This one-
there.
Yeah. This one is decaf. I can go like this and
Yeah.
then look at more.
What is this one?
And then this
Ona,
is
yeah.
Ona. Ona's
Yeah,
great,
Ona's
actually.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, so there is too much of them. So what are you guys going to do with all of this? Because you
well,
can't-
we can't drink it all?
there is no way you can drink
Wait,
this all.
wait, hold on a second. Are you holding up a sign that says, you can't drink it all?
Yeah, you can't drink it all. You can't
And then
drink
I
it all.
will respond by saying, why
Why?
not? Why not? Wait, it was why? Is that what
It
you
was
said?
why. It was just why,
Crap,
yes.
I thought it was why not. Now, if anybody over
Yeah.
here is thinking like, I don't get that. Why
Yeah.
are you guys laughing? This is why you need to go to a live comedy show.
Correct.
And you may get to enjoy certain bits that have inside joke quality to them.
Yes.
And the best way to do that is to go to the Backstage HK, follow that on Instagram, and you will find out what all the shows are happening. And you'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, I get that reference now.
Yep.
Where you can't drink it all. I get it now.
You can't drink it all.
Yeah, you can't drink it all. I
You
mean-
actually have, since you left, one of the big updates is that we have a full-on website now.
Oh, yeah. I remember you told me. Yeah.
So the Backstage is finally graduated from just a link tree
Yeah.
to a full website, and the website is live, and you can check it out.
What's the Backstage
It's
HK?
actually both backstagecomedy.com and the backstagehk.com. It's the same website.
Okay, yeah, just
so you
keep
can
it
just look up
consistent,
Backstage Comedy and you will find us. So we have profiles for all the comedians, and we have also a dedicated page for the podcast as well.
Yeah.
So you can even listen to the podcast on the website.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
lots of stuff
embedded
over
on
there.
each episode has its own page. And
But
all
how
of that.
have been shows going on over here, like the regular shows? Again, just to remind everybody, there is English shows happening every Saturday night, correct?
Yeah.
So that's been keeping everyone busy.
So
While-
you left like beginning of April, right?
I left basically 29 March.
Yeah.
I was out as a Saturday. I flew out, and since then I've been back since 6th of May.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So actually, since you left for our regular shows, the whole month of April has been centered around the Jiaoying summer shows in the middle of the month.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty much all we did, because
Yeah.
there were 4 shows back to back and 2 nights.
Yeah.
And that was just that took up the whole month.
Oh, okay,
Before
okay,
and
okay.
also, Hong Kong did this weird thing where there's too many holidays
Together?
Not just together, like the Buddha's birthday and the Labor Day.
Yeah, that was
very
crazy.
weird. That was crazy because that was right after the weekend of, not after, like it was like following the weekend of the other big holiday, whatever.
There was like
the Easter.
Oh,
so there
yes,
was
yes,
Easter holidays,
Yeah.
which was like 5 days, and then the Good Easter or Good Bunny
Good
or whatever.
Friday and then
Good Friday.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Easter Monday, I think.
Yes,
was,
yes.
yeah.
And then after that, and then there was like it happens to be that the Thursday is a public holiday, which is the Labor Day.
Yeah.
And then Friday is working day, but the Monday is off, which is Buddha's birthday.
Yeah.
So obviously no one worked on Friday.
not happening.
And everyone just peaced out on like Wednesday
Yeah.
after work. So that we ended up having to move a bunch of shows because we have regulars that were
Yeah.
like, bro, we're not in town.
Yeah.
But I personally didn't even want to work after the Zhao Ying shows. So just a little bit of backstory here. And I think it's going to have to take a full episode. But if you're on the Patreon, you probably know more than other people because I went on Patreon and did an hour by myself telling this story.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And a full hour. So you can listen to it on Patreon. Patreon.com/HoHoPod.
Now, for everyone, disclaimer, that means it's an hour of that voice you just heard.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, you can speed it up to 1.5 or 2. Because I was so tired, I actually re-listened to it. I was so tired that I was speaking much slower than usual.
Oh, wow.
I was really slow.
Yeah. I heard. Okay.
Because you edit it, like you do.
Yeah, I did the front and the back. I did listen to the episode. However, true to my efficiency thing, it wasn't a let me sit down and just enjoy this or listen to this. It was because I remember I believe I was in Auckland at that time, and I was alone in my hotel room.
Yes.
So I had that playing, and I'm like moving around, packing stuff up,
Sure,
listening to it and everything. Yeah. So I did listen to the whole episode. I heard glimpses of here and there, and most of it I pretty much got the whole gist of it. But again, for everyone, if you want to hear what he talked about by himself for an hour with that accent of his, go check out the patreon.com/HoHoPod.
Yeah.
And subscribe and go listen to that episode. If you want to be really supportive, subscribe and be like an
we actually
monthly.
should welcome our new patrons. We have a few since last time we recorded together. So we have Crystal Tolani is back on. Crystal jumped in and out. We're very happy to have her back. Crystal has a bunch of stuff going on. One of the main things for her is she owns the Ride the Minibus.
The game,
fun
right?
video game. Yeah, video game. Fun card game. So you can actually find goddamn. The game Ride the Minibus online. Just look up Ride the Minibus Hong Kong. We also have Beno Jagi, who
Benno, I
are
worked
you
with him.
familiar with that?
It was I believe the Swiss Association of Swiss Chamber of Commerce, something like that. Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay,
Oh,
that's cool.
yeah.
So Benno, thank you so much for joining us, and also we have Liana K joined us as well. That's a little bit earlier, and so new Patreons. Thank you so much for all the support.
Yeah.
So the as I said, like the Zhao Ying shows, I think we're gonna have to do them in a separate episode.
Yeah.
Just because of the amount of details.
Yeah.
That we had to go through.
Yeah.
It's actually gonna be like. The Patreon one, it still has some details that we cannot have on the free episode.
Yeah.
So that's basically just a disclaimer here. We cannot have everything on the free episode, but I will tell the full story with some more details, more than the Patreon as well. But let's leave it for another time. You are the one who left and left us all behind.
Oh, the blame game begins.
Yes, the blame game.
You left us, man.
Yes,
you walked away. You were like, I'm making their money, not your money. And joke's on you, bitch. The Australian dollar went down.
So you actually, wait, that means you made more money in Hong Kong.
No, I made, because I would make less money.
Yes.
Because the equivalent Hong Kong dollar was less for the same number of Australian dollars.
Yeah.
So, yes, if I were to stay in Hong Kong, I would have made more money because I'm making Hong Kong dollars.
Right.
But Australian dollar did go down. However, it did go back up. And so, luckily for me, so this is the thing, right? I have this bit. For anyone who's seen the live shows in early this year, I had this whole bit about like a Mont Blanc pen.
Yes.
So I made it into like a good 7-minute bit in my tour in Australia.
Yeah.
And so one of the bits is that I'm trying to buy a new lead for my pen. And it turns out Mont Blanc Hong Kong, to buy 2 leads, it's 140 Hong Kong dollars.
Okay.
All right. So which I was like, oh my God, this is insane. But whatever, we have to get, right? And I was like, I'm going to go to Australia. Let me try to see what the currency exchange is. So back in February, I was like, $140 Hong Kong is 26 Aussie. Okay, got it, right? First day of Melbourne show, it's no longer 26, it's 28.
Oh, no.
Right? And I was like, okay. Second show, 29. And so the running joke was, I was like, man, I was so worried by the end of my run. I'm like, 140 Hong Kong dollars is 140 Aussie dollars.
Yes.
1-to-1, dude. I'm
Yeah.
like, what am I doing here?
So their economy is struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then again, it did bounce back up, but then again, every economy is struggling right now, right? And nobody
Yeah.
really knows what to do.
Yeah, we haven't caught up since a lot of the international kind of news as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the tariffs thing is insane.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I really feel the only thing you could trade without a tariff is the insults. That's what I could do. Like, you're fat. Well, you can say that freely. You can say that.
There's
freely,
one thing that I thought was very funny. Like, it made me laugh at least. Where when they were just after the Pope died, and they asked Trump, who do you think the next pope is?
Yeah.
And without hesitation, he goes, me!
Yeah.
Which I thought was very funny.
That's so on brand, man.
It's so on brand.
Yeah.
But it's like so ridiculous that made me laugh.
But you know what would be funny is that, like, I would actually, from a purely entertainment point of view,
Yeah.
I would love to see him, because what will happen is that he won't be able to do his shenanigans anymore.
No, of
If
course
he's
not.
the Pope, he's literally just going to go up there and wave.
Well, yeah, that's what you think would happen. But if he does do it,
Yeah.
he's gonna bring his chaotic energy into the
Oh, dude.
Vatican. And it took them like a couple of days, and then they have a new pope,
American guy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then like. Funny enough, like some people like the online, and they're like, he's not the first American, he's the first like United States American. Like America is so big. I'm like, come on, man. Look, we all know.
Yeah, the
what that
technicalities.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just people from like whatever Mexico or Canada being
Yeah.
offended. I was like, we all know what that means.
Yeah,
like it doesn't
exactly.
matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, I fine. Whatever,
on,
we
man.
get it. Oh my god. But yeah, I don't know. Like that whole thing happened, and honestly, because with the tour, I can barely keep up with it. Okay, first, without the tour, I barely keep up with the news.
Yeah.
With the tour, even more so. The news is
course.
not happening. But I did remember seeing some things about it. So this is what I find is that before I go to sleep, I'll doom scroll a bit.
Yeah.
And what catches my attention is when I get like 5 posts talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, something happened.
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at this, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, like 3 days later or 5 days later, like, oh, white smoke. I'm like, what does that mean? Oh, they got a new pope? Great.
Right,
I got
okay,
that.
cool. Yeah.
So it's bizarre because like with today's world, there's so much stuff happening. This guy died. That happened over here. Trump
Yeah.
did this. I'm
Yeah.
like, I honestly, at this point, I can't even keep track of the tariffs coming in action.
Yeah.
What's being.
Well,
what's
it's also
been-
like if it's not directly affecting you, like the tariffs affecting everybody, like things are getting higher, but you're not like in the export-import business, for example.
I mean, yeah. I mean, luckily, I'm not getting tariffed for going overseas to do comedy.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
so like it doesn't affect me directly. But it's one of those things where you worry, like, oh, but should I buy this stuff now in
Yeah.
case? I'm like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too much to pay attention to. But actually, so I was there in the year before.
Yeah.
To the comedy festival in Melbourne. What's the major like? Explain to me
Alright,
like
so-
how different it was this year than last year.
So the whole vibe, I have to admit, is that it wasn't as vibrant as last year. For example, the number of seasoned comedians at the
Yeah.
festival were way lower than before.
Yeah.
Certain people I love watching, like people like David O'Doherty and all that. I watch him every year because I think he's a genius.
Yes, he's
And,
very funny.
He's very funny, and
Yeah.
I'll watch him like multiple times.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, okay, he's not there. Okay.
He didn't go.
He
Yeah,
didn't go.
yeah.
So oddly enough, this year has my lowest rated number of shows I went to watch.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because there wasn't that.
There
many.
wasn't that much to get my attention. Also, my
Yeah.
showtime was awkward. It was a 7:45 to 8:45. So it's kind of like you eat dinner before, but when you're done, you're kind of hungry again.
Yes,
And
yes.
things close early. So do I go quickly have a meal or do I watch a show? That kind of stuff. But there was sufficient shows to still make it a comedy festival, I would say. However, it was insufficient shows to make it like, oh my god, this is a huge
Yeah,
festival.
because
man.
when we were there, it felt really big. It
Oh,
felt
yeah.
like like the year before.
Yeah, you were like, I'm watching this show. Then you got to watch that show.
Yeah,
This year,
yeah.
I was like, I'll watch it tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's a bit of that.
Why do you think that is? Is it just economy, or is it because obviously the festival rego fees keep going up
They
as
went
well?
up. Probably, I feel the rego, whatever fee
Yes.
they want to call it.
Yeah.
That's gone up. The cut that they take's gone up.
Yes.
Maybe also venue wise, they had one venue gone called Trades Hall. That.
Oh, Trades Hall is all gone? That's
I
where
think-
you were the year
yeah,
before?
so that's where they moved me to the
shit.
Art Center.
So Trades Hall didn't do any shows?
No, I didn't. Yeah. So there was that as well. I
Yeah.
mean, ironically, I got to the Melbourne Arts Center, which is like a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like a Hong Kong Cultural Center. I'm
Okay.
like, okay, I'll take
Yeah,
this. You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So that in itself was a cool thing that now I can say I performed at the Arts Center. At the same time, like even for example, in Perth, I went to the. I keep mixing up the name where I believe it's like a state theater center.
Yeah.
Which is like a big deal. It's like their cultural
Yes.
center as well.
That's so cool.
And I was
Yeah.
at the Heath Ledger room.
What?
The Heath Ledger Theater.
Oh, they have a
room
theater called after him.
Yeah,
named
Heath
after
Ledger
him.
Theater. I was like, oh my
That's
god,
so
this
cool.
is so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right? That's why I was like,
especially for you being obsessed with the Joker and
oh,
everything.
absolutely. Man, when I saw that, I'm like, dude, this is it, man. This is, oh my goodness, right?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the cool thing is that this whole tour this time, I got to do certain rooms that I'm like, this is awesome. For example, in Brisbane, again, if anybody wants, go just check out Funny Vivek, my Instagram. You'll see a whole bunch
you
of photos,
posted a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, a bunch of photos.
Yeah.
And the idea really was to get a feel for the room and all that through photos. Now, people have told me, oh man, you should post more videos. I'm like, I've come to the point in my life where I'm like, I love that picture that speaks 1,000 words kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I want that one picture that you're like, oh wow, I can totally feel the vibe of the room. Right. So I remember I did like in Brisbane this place called the Triffid. It's like it's a live band show venue.
Okay.
It's such a proper, like, I could imagine like a heavy metal band losing their
Didn't
mind.
you do something similar like last year?
Last year in Perth. Yeah. Oh yeah. So Perth last year, I did the final show. I did my Cantonese show in this place. I forget the name, but it's also like a 3-story industrial style thing.
Yes,
beautiful.
I remember we showed, like, we talked about it and showed the photo or something.
Yeah, very cool. Recobite is called. Yeah.
Yes.
So I did the Cantonese show at I think 5:00. Killed and did right. Thank you very much. Have a good kind of thing, right? And I did the Perth Best of Fest show, and that's when I completely died at night. And I was like, okay, this.
And
is
that's
not
the
working.
one where the techies and everybody understands.
Yeah, and they're kind of like, okay, this guy wasn't that good. You know? I'm like, it's the same techie, right?
Yes, yeah.
But the room itself, man, again, you go to Funny Vivek and go check out, scroll down, you see the last year's photos. That room to me was like, that was an epic room, man.
Yeah.
That was badass. So this year as well, Brisbane, the Triffid. Just scroll down to the Triffid and you'll see me standing outside the entrance. Dude, their doors are like the size of 3 of us, the height.
Really?
Metal doors.
That's amazing.
Rusty metal doors, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
So they're like,
it's one of those where you, like, it's
you
like
need
a heavy,
couple of people to push it. Yeah.
You know, and it's one of those things where you're like, oh my god, this itself is just cool.
Yeah.
And like when you walk in, you're like, oh my god, this is badass, man.
Yeah.
So I think those kinds of things all add up where I'm like, this is pretty cool for me. And I'm like, oh, this is a special experience. I want to do
of course.
that.
Yeah. You want to document it as well.
Dude, this
Oh
is
wow.
literally-
Yeah. So you can show it to the camera as well.
So in
This
case,
is
hold on,
terrific.
you know what? I'll do it over here. Let's see if it gets. It's probably gonna be
we'll
blurry. Yeah.
Chuck
Anyway.
it on the screen. Yeah. That's so cool. Look how crazy big that door is.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful photo
Yeah,
too.
right?
Yeah.
So-
Very centered.
Yeah,
very
very
nice.
sad, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
this was another thing that I'll put it this way. Like, this tour for me is a comedy tour, all that stuff, whatever, right?
Yes.
But my challenge for me was like, all right, I'm going to take this tour as a challenge of taking photos. However, if you go look at my Instagram, I'll have photos of the shows.
Yeah.
This was unmanned photos.
Yeah.
No photographer, just me with my cameras all over the place,
Really? Yeah.
taking photos, and I have to
and
pick.
then you have to pick, the
pick
good
photos.
ones.
Yeah, good ones. Yeah. So that in itself was pretty cool. I'm like, okay, which angle is good? And you only have, like, say, 20 minutes to decide.
Yeah.
So it was legit on brand to the way I work, which is like crunch time.
Of course.
Get it done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be
But I
honest
mean,
with-
it's still crazy that you're going to all of these places and it's just all in Cantonese. I
Yeah.
know you have done it many times,
Yeah.
but it's still like
it's still ridiculous.
it's still ridiculous.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
going to no, forget about Auckland. Auckland's a big city,
Yeah.
but like Adelaide, for example.
yeah, I didn't do Adelaide. I did the Gold Coast this time.
The Gold Coast
Yeah.
and even Perth.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
those places are small.
Yeah, it's smaller,
Yeah.
and also the Cantonese community is also small as well. So you really
Yeah.
are really pulling from a small
Yes,
bucket
yeah.
of people.
Yeah.
However, the cool thing is that so people that came to the show were extremely appreciative of it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, dude, nobody comes here, and
Nobody
like, you know,
comes here. Like, is there any other Cantonese entertainment in these cities?
Rarely.
Yeah.
Very rarely. Because, like, I mean, why would you do that? Just go to Sydney.
Yes,
Go to
and Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
why would you do these small cities?
Yeah.
So, from a cost value point of view, yes, if you were a live band, it's unlikely you'd go there.
Yeah.
Because you have so many instruments and dancers and stuff.
Of course.
With comedy, I have the benefit and flexibility of, like, it's just me.
Yes.
Technically, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, if I want to be a bit, adventurous, I can. Now, if I were purely business person minded,
Yeah.
I'd be like, why would I just do it only in Sydney?
Yes,
Let
yeah.
them
People
come
can
to
come.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you save your costs and they have no choice. They're going to
Sure.
do it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, but the fun is to go to these different places, get the vibe of that place.
Mm.
And after this tour, I'd say when I was growing up, a lot of the American comedians, from the United States of America.
Yes.
Right, just to clarify.
Yes.
And then they're like, oh man, I did a show in, Indiana, and let me just say,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, really? It can't be that bad.
No.
Because again, you grew up in Hong Kong, the furthest place, let's say Tuen Mun or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's not such an extreme jump.
Yeah.
This trip, though, every city I went to, every place I went to, I was like, whoa, I can feel the difference in vibe.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I haven't performed outside of Melbourne and Sydney. I went to a couple of like whatever they call them, the regional gigs, like in the middle or whatever, but nothing out like at the other big cities.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what the vibe is like outside
So definitely,
of
I mean,
these
like
two
for
cities.
example, like Perth itself is such a slow city in general. Okay, so I'll give you the Auckland was a good example. Now, and the people in Auckland, this is my second year going there. Last year I went there and I only stayed there for 23 hours. I literally flew down from Hong Kong, did the show overnight, flew down, did the show, and flew out. It was insane.
That's too because New Zealand is like known to be like the furthest country.
Yeah, and I went that.
That's goofy. Don't do that again.
So this year I had a few days.
Yes.
And I had met people last year, so I could hang out with them this year. So again, there's a guy in Auckland who owns a Hong Kong taxi replica.
Amazing.
Right? And last year he picked me up. This year he picked me up. We drove around. It was pretty cool.
So he drives it as a private car, not as a taxi.
No, not as a taxi. Yeah, he does get hailed by people. Like, okay, can we fit 4 people? He's like, no, this is not a taxi. You know. And so the joke was he was picking me up outside my hotel, and while waiting for me, this Singaporean tourist came up to him like, oh, can you take 4?
Yeah.
He's like, no, this is not a operating taxi.
Yeah.
And the Singaporean guy's like, then why?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, then why do you have a taxi that's not
why
a taxi?
do you have a taxi?
I'm like,
does it say taxi on it as well?
Dude, it is full on Hong Kong.
Replica. But wait, does he have like many phones on the dashboard?
Phones he doesn't have, but he has every.
He should add the touch of the.
It is insane how like.
I remember seeing a photo of it.
It is crazy. It's like a full on taxi. You're like, how is there a taxi from Hong Kong here?
Yes. How legal is having the word taxi on top of your car?
Oddly enough, it's fully legal.
Yeah, okay.
It's fully legal. Like he can drive around like that. He's been featured on magazines.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I guess it's like such a cool looking thing that they probably look the other way about some
and like
things.
maybe it's so obvious because it has Chinese words on it, stuff like that. Like the interior, he has these stickers like no smoking.
Call this number. Prices with bird cage and dogs and suitcases.
Not so much of those, but I know what you're exactly talking about. Like he had it's got the sticker is he has like the meter that runs.
Okay.
The meter runs, dude.
So you can actually tell how much it would cost.
Yeah.
Is it like, does it run in Hong Kong dollars too?
I believe so, yeah. Because it's
so
from
cool.
Hong Kong anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's just crazy in itself.
So and he just has the car for fun.
Yeah. It was he just loved the Hong Kong culture thing. And I think he grew up when he was younger, he was in Hong Kong for a while. He loved it. So he and some friends decided to pitch some money together.
Yeah.
And he was like, can I actually bring this car in? He's like, oh, I can.
Oh, so he imported it from Hong Kong.
Yeah, because you don't get that model over there.
Yeah, okay.
It's that same model and everything. So it's not just a car that's got red color on it. It's like the proper legit model. You're like, oh my God, this is the proper taxi.
I mean, outside of like doing something cool like with a Hong Kong artist, what else do you do with it? You just drive around and be like...
I mean, like, there's a lot of things. One is a hobby thing, you know? Like, I just like to have it there. It's this cool thing.
Yeah.
The other one that we had discussed is that it could be like a Hong Kong iconic if the Hong Kong government decided, hey, we have, like, let's say, chambers of commerce or whatever over there, or business offices, like, we could have you pick up our guests.
Yes,
you know,
that would be cool.
Flavor, right?
Yes.
So I was like, there's a lot of things to do, but again, it depends on if people can make it all happen, right?
You can also do like a version of Hong Kong comedians in car.
Oh
like anyone in cars.
Yeah. So there's so many options.
If you do that, instead of like just Jerry Seinfeld being nice, it's him just cursing at
exactly. Just driving like, move faster.
Exactly.
The funny thing though is like when I was in Auckland, actually a lot of the Cantonese speakers there have kind of gotten used to life over there.
Yeah.
Where they're like, people are slow. And Auckland is the one place I met people that were proudly slow.
Really?
So there's a difference of like something like, it's a bit slow over here, you know, kind of like.
But define slow. Does that mean like when you're sitting down for a coffee, you're taking like an hour and a half to drink your coffee?
No. Like what slow is like from a society point of view. I think they were joking about how they had a train station that was supposed to be like done in a few years.
Oh, I see.
And it's like been 10 years, it's not been done.
Right. And they're like,
and they're like, it's not gonna get done, dude. And I was like, just forget it. Dude.
Yes.
Just forget it. Like it's one of those things where like I think the government did something and happened to like, you know what, it's a bit too late now, even if it gets done. Let's just stop it.
So just leave it halfway done.
Yeah, stuff like that. You know? And I was like, wow. And the joke is I remember when I was doing the Auckland show and halfway through, because I rarely do too much local stuff because I'm like, that's my show. I'm bringing you the show. Yeah. And in the middle, I was like, you know, because I have this little bit where I'm talking about how if I use my set of rules of judgment of what makes me happy as the way that you should be doing that as well to be happy, it doesn't really work, right? And I was like, it's like Auckland, like you guys are slow.
Yeah.
Like if I use my speed, I will kill myself.
Yeah.
But you are, and they were like clapping and laughing. And I'm like, no, because like, look, I'm a patient guy.
Yes.
but this is slow.
This is
Like,
ridiculous. Yeah.
And then they were laughing, and I'm like, you are proudly slow. You are like, we're slow.
yeah.
I was like, the way you say it is kind of like, yeah, I suck, but you know what? I'm happy about that. And I respect that. I'm like, dude, you are able to be happy about, man, I respect that now, you know.
Yeah, okay.
To own it, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of those things.
But like,
made-
especially for your audience there who are obviously from Hong Kong, whether like they grew up here
Yeah.
or like moved,
Yeah.
like when they were adults.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by how did they adjust, because this is probably the fastest city in the world.
Yeah.
And then you go to probably what is the
Oh,
slowest
yeah, yeah.
city.
So there's two
That's
types.
a crazy adjustment.
Yeah,
right?
there's two types, right? There's the
Did you
type
talk
that,
to them about it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
okay.
like, for example, one of the old Cantonese comedians called Seamus, he used to live in Hong Kong, right?
Okay.
He's Tanya Yim's cousin, I believe.
Yeah.
And so he lives there now.
Yeah.
And he was explaining to me, he's like, actually, all along, I've been an Auckland-based guy who
Right.
happens to live in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So when I came to Auckland, I'm like, this is it. This is what I want.
I
So
see.
that's version 1.
Yes, that's version 1.
Right?
He's like, I found my spot. Like
Yeah,
Hong Kong was
this
too
is the-
crazy
yeah,
for me.
yeah, exactly.
This
yeah.
is the pace I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have that.
Yeah.
Number 2 is obviously the ones that just have to adapt because of time. Now, a lot of people are there for many reasons. One could be work, the other is just to get out, or family, whatever.
Sure.
And what I find is that some of them also have it where they're like, this is kind of like, I need to immigrate here to maybe then eventually after a few years' time go to Australia.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
the running joke has always been like, if anybody had any ambition, they would be in Australia, not in Auckland.
Yeah.
And it would say proudly, I'm like, oh yeah, if you had any, you wouldn't
Yes.
be here. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait,
Okay.
okay.
But you live here. Like,
Yeah.
what is your ambition?
Yeah.
They're like,
But no, it's like either that or they're kind of like, yeah, but I have a different aim in life. I don't want to be ambitious like that. I just want to sit and chill. I'm like, all right, okay.
Right,
As long
yeah.
as you've owned it, man.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think you're right. Like, because maybe for us, like here we're going, that you don't have the idea of sit and chill. And
Yeah.
to a lot of people here, it sounds like you're wasting your time
Yeah.
or you're just like gonna give up on something. But like, why not? Like,
Yeah.
if you just want to sit and chill,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
So I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with it as long as it's truly what you want and not
exactly,
not a purely
defeat.
convenient.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Not
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't want to.
Yeah, I can't be bothered. It's like,
I
well,
can't be
nobody
bothered.
can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah, dude. Like, so there's a
Yeah.
lot of that because, like, even when I travel and do these shows, I always do a lot of community outreach. Like, when I was in Auckland, I connected with a bunch of university students.
Yeah.
And I was talking about the behind the scenes of comedy and stuff like that. And it was fun because, like, you could see a lot of them were unsure about their life and they're like, I don't know what I want to do and everything. And I was explaining to them, like, look, man, what I'm doing seems fun, but
Yeah.
everything you do is going to have that behind the scenes thing that's going to suck, right?
Yes.
However, even with the tour, I was like, man, this tour is exhausting. You get to see the show, like, oh, you got to go perform here and there. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, man, it's a truly an honor where, like, for example, the Q Theater in Auckland, that's like a big deal. And I'm like, dude, I'm performing there, man,
Yeah, yeah.
But the lead up to it is like, oh my God, I got to travel here. I got to be in this hotel. I got to rush this thing. I got
Yeah.
to connect with that. I got to go there, do the sound check. Oh my God, tickets are not selling. How do I promote some more?
Sure.
I mean, the funny thing is actually, people in Auckland even ask me, is the content new? And I'm like, yeah, everything, the whole show, the posters, everything's
Yeah.
new. Like, why would you question me?
Well,
And-
yeah, they think like, yeah, if they saw you last year, they're like, I mean, some artists do for more than 1 year,
Yeah.
right? So they might think like,
But I mean,
he's still
yeah,
still doing
but
the
the
same
thing
show.
is, like, it's a full different poster, title, everything. Right now,
Yeah.
what I found is that because they have had people come back and claim to do a new show where maybe like 30% same.
yeah,
And that's why they're like suspicious about
Yes,
it.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's one of those where like, I'll
Yeah.
come to a show. Okay. Oh, wait, I heard this stuff.
yeah.
And this has happened.
It's so
before
hard
as well.
with comedy, obviously, because
Yeah.
that doesn't apply to any other.
Yeah.
like
Same song,
you know,
sure, I'll
same
sing it
song.
again,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So a lot of the times people want the same song.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Encore. It's like, wait,
Yes.
I just did that. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a bunch of that. But I was put it this way. Ultimately, the coolest thing about the whole trip is that I got to see different vibes and different paces, different people's reactions.
Yeah.
Where do they laugh? Where do they not laugh? Which place likes a bit more visuals? Which place likes a bit more thinking? Like, for example, classic to anything like Sydney, being a city, the
Yeah.
major city, people are a bit more cocky.
Yes.
And they're trying to find opportunities. So I'll give you an example, right? So Sydney, I did Chatswood on Saturday and the Comedy Store on Sunday. So Chatswood, think of it like Mongkok over here.
Right.
Okay? You
Yeah.
got that type of vibe.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of Hong Kong people, a lot of Chinese people, a lot of Asians, I should say.
Yes.
And so Chatswood show selling out was guaranteed.
Yeah.
So we added another show, okay? So I added a 3:15 p.m. show on top
Yeah.
of the original 5 p.m. show.
Okay.
So I do the 3:15 p.m. show. We go outside in the lounge area to take photos.
Yeah.
Now the 5 p.m. show, people are already there waiting to get into watch the show.
Yeah.
And so what happened is that some of the 5 p.m. people lined up as well to take the photo, seeing
So
that.
they can save time at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm here anyway. Let's get that picture
This
first.
is such a Hong Kong
Such
thing.
a Hong Kong thing, right? And I was
love
like,
it.
I didn't realize it until the guy finished the photo. I'm like, oh, I'm actually here for the 5 p.m. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You took a photo first? I'm
Yes.
like, I appreciate your confidence that you still want to have that photo.
Right.
Because you might watch someone and it's like, this
Oh, this
sucks.
sucks. Yes,
right?
yes. But
then-
he's thinking of it, of the efficiency.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I was like, I respect that, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's
I
so
can get out
Sydney.
first, out of the car park
Yeah,
first. I don't
I'm
have to
here
line up.
anyway. I'm
here
waiting,
anyway.
doing nothing. How
Yes.
can I increase my efficiency? Get this out of the way.
Yes.
Later on, I'll have to line up and be
Yes.
done with it. All right, that was awesome, right? So the crazy thing is, like, when that happened in Sydney, I'm like, that's so. Yes, I would expect that in Sydney.
Yeah.
Reverse it in Perth. The theater, first of all, I want to say the theater did such a magnificent job of signage, of like meet and greet in that area.
Yeah.
They had the ropes, everything ready.
That's so
they had
cool.
a corner. They had
Yeah.
a picture of me and a meet and greet this way.
Yeah.
People lined up patiently,
Yeah.
right? And then when it came time to take photos, what happened is that Gloria had to go pick up my camera real quick and bring it over, this and that,
Yeah.
right? And then people waited happily. They were chit-chatting with me. I'm like, well, okay, you guys are not, rushing. Hey, can we take the photo? They would take a photo, and like one or two people might want to talk a little bit more, and I'll
Yeah.
give them like 10 seconds time to talk.
Of course.
And then the people behind them won't be like, excuse
me.
None of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're like, oh, let them finish. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, there's such a
So
different
everyone
vibe.
is just like chilling.
They're chilling. I mean, it
Yeah.
was a Saturday night. I'll give you that. But then
Yes.
again, the Chatswood show finished at around 6:30, so it's like not, and it was a Saturday as well.
Yes.
So it's even earlier.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what's
yeah.
your rush?
Yeah.
So
But
I
it's a
got
city, as you said, it's a city versus like
Yeah.
the people who are chilling. Even
Exactly.
if Perth is also a city.
exactly. Yeah. Now
It's very slow.
Exactly. Now
Yeah.
that was another cool thing where Chatswood, you had people like, do the show and get out kind of thing. All right, fair enough. And why I say it's Mongkok, because the next day on Sunday, I did the Comedy Store.
It was full of hookers.
I wish, but apparently not. They didn't offer anything to me,
Just
right?
guessed
Yeah.
Bangkok on the Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah. No, but the Comedy Store is more in the city center area, right?
Yes.
So you could consider that place as maybe Sheungwan.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the vibe of the Comedy Store was way different. It wasn't like I'm here to watch a show, get my photo, and get out.
Yeah.
People came to watch a show.
Yeah.
I'll take a photo as well.
Yeah.
And they were lining up without kind of feeling like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
However, the Comedy Store thing is pretty cool where it's such tight timing.
Yeah.
I did my show. My show ends at, I believe, oh my God, I can't remember. Like, I think it was 6 p.m. Yeah, 6 p.m. show. The next show, 7:20.
Yeah.
So,
So they have to clear out everybody.
Clear out.
Yeah.
and it's so crazy because like 7:05 is the latest I could end my show. Get out, get everyone, tell them, go downstairs.
Yes.
So the next show can already start setting up and bring them back.
I like that. Like I've performed there as well, and I like how efficient.
Yeah.
Same for Comedy Republic back in Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's like because it's a business, right? But it's also like the show is just everything is run on such a tight schedule,
Yeah.
which is the opposite of what you think most shows are here. For example, because comedy is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that it's also work for
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're like, oh yeah, you have the next show.
Yeah.
If you fuck around,
You're
you're
wasting
just
time,
messing
yeah.
up everything.
I mean, that
Yeah.
happens to us when we do the Laugh Festival in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Because we have back-to-back half-an-hour gaps,
Exactly, yeah.
And the thank yous, the goodbyes and everything. I'm like, I go, you gotta go.
Yeah.
So I totally understand. I
Yeah.
respect that, but I didn't expect it to be that tight. I'm like, wow, that's a
Yeah.
15-minute turnover. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I have to say the Comedy Store was a cool venue. It's iconic, number one.
Yeah.
And also the idea. Look, I'll be honest with you, man. This tour, the coolest thing of it is that the idea of me having my show in
Yeah.
these venues,
Of course.
that was a different thing. Like,
Yeah,
if you're just
your
doing a-
Cantonese show. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Forget even being Cantonese. Just
Yeah.
the idea that I got to do my solo show in this venue. I'm like, wow, that
Yeah.
is already a milestone tick.
Yeah, of course.
So in that sense, that was the coolest part of the whole tour. The exhaustion is there. The frustrations of like, oh my god, I gotta do this. I gotta talk to this person.
yeah, what was the lowest part for you for the whole tour?
I would say, okay, so with the Chatswood show, we added just a week before. It's a 300-seat room. We added an extra show at 3:15 just a
Yeah.
week before.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's obviously very late edition. Yeah.
So selling 300 tickets like that, I didn't think was possible. We didn't. However, the lowest point really was like going to that venue and going like, okay, so I know this room right now is not going to be full,
Right.
but in 2 hours' time it's going to be packed.
Yeah.
And it's like,
So you're just getting through the first show.
in a
without,
way, you kind of have a bit of like, oh man, why did I could have just skipped the show and just
Yeah.
filled up the other show, right?
Yes.
But then, like, a lot of the moments where I would compare last year's numbers and this year's, I'm like, okay, what's going on? And why is this not selling as fast as last year? And it turns out there's so many factors where, number one, last year, this was like maybe the first time I'd been going there. And the first time factor, we gotta watch this.
We gotta go see this guy. Yeah,
and a lot of those were like, oh yeah, of course, I forget there's a little psychology into this as well. So yeah, the down factors were when I was like, okay, I mean, I sold way more tickets last year. Like for example, Perth, I sold like 300 something tickets. This year, I just sold a little under 200, and I'm like, how did I drop a whole 100?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, that's a big drop.
Yeah.
But the cool
It's
thing
like
though,
30%. Yeah.
But however, at every show, or pretty much every show, I would ask how many people came for last year's show. Honestly, not more than 15-20%.
Oh wow, okay, so it's like new people as well.
And I was like, whoa, that's actually a good sign, showing me that there is such a large population.
Yeah, but
okay.
there is also like, you know, many factors. Like some people who came last year might have just like left the city, right? Like came back to Hong Kong or whatever.
Could be, yeah.
So
there's a lot
that
of
also
factors.
means that the shows are getting to new people, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Would you do it again the same way, or would you structure it a bit differently?
No, I would do it the same way.
Yeah.
I may take a little time off to rethink, and also maybe give it a little space with it. Like, oh, we haven't seen him, let's go check him out. But yeah, I think the whole tour, I have to give all props to like Bomb over there. They did a good job with the scheduling.
Yeah.
And I told them my rule of thumb was simple. Like once I finish my show in the city, I'm ready to fly to the next one immediately. Right. And obviously, let me sleep one night.
Sure.
Yeah. Because the idea is that as much as I would love to stay behind and like enjoy the city finally, I'm like, I have to remember this is a work trip. So I've got to go to the next city and see whatever connection I can make. So for example, in Brisbane, I flew down to Brisbane. That night itself, I did like a JCI workship. Next morning, I did an elderly home. Then I had the show at night, went to sleep. The next morning, we went to Gold Coast, did the show there, took a train back. And I was like, oh my God, did I even see Brisbane? I don't even know what happened. Yeah.
Elderly home. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Then, I mean, look, this is the coolest part of when you're traveling, you do elderly homes and stuff like that. It's just another world.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, it's like, and that's when you're like,
so elderly Cantonese guys like just hanging out in like an elderly home.
Yeah, so they
on
have
the Gold Coast or
in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And so I did it last year as well.
Yeah.
And so they were like, hey, could you come back this year again? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's rock and roll. You know, for me, I always put it this way: is that it may not be the ideal situation to do a show.
Of course.
However, just the idea that, hey, I did an elderly home in Brisbane in Cantonese, I'm like, that's insane.
That's awesome.
Right?
And they must be so appreciative as well. Like, what do they get? Like in terms
Singing,
of
bingo,
exactly.
Same old man.
Yeah. And they don't probably get any entertainer from Hong Kong.
Absolutely,
who coming through.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's the fun part of my work as well.
Last question in this tour post-tour interview. What shows did you watch at the Melbourne Festival that you enjoyed?
All right, so anybody, if you when you go to Melbourne Comedy Festival, I highly recommend go watch shows you think will never come to Hong Kong.
Right.
So for example, like this guy called Josh Glantz. You'll remember he's the guy with the mustache.
Yes.
And he's like a clownish kind of, but not your classical clown with the red nose, but like a clowny kind of goofy character.
Okay.
So funny.
Yeah.
He has this whole bit about how okay, so he has this thing where he breaks into song.
Yeah.
He's like, he pretends he's two characters. He's like, I drive a truck.
Right.
Right. And then he's like, I drive a truck. He's like two different characters.
Oh, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the whole song merges where like this guy's really manly, this guy's kind of like feminine.
Yeah.
And then after a while they're like, well, actually, we both drive a truck.
Yeah.
Wait a second, I like you.
Yeah.
And then the man goes, wait, no, I can't. You know, it's so funny the way he does it, man.
Nice.
So I saw that. I saw this group called Bear Pack. Steen Ristopoulos, his name. He's one of the best improvisers I've seen in my life.
Really?
Every year they have a show called Bear Pack, which is a long form comedy called a yarn that they kind of created.
Yeah.
Where it's 1 hour. 1
hour of improv, like one scene.
One scene.
Wow, that's
And
nuts.
the audience gives them two suggestions. One is a place.
Yeah.
For example, like the second show we went to, the idea was a lighthouse.
Yeah.
All right. And then give me an object that goes on a wall, a clock. That's it.
That's it.
1 hour.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Amazing.
Dude.
That's so impressive.
It was like every year I make sure I try to watch it.
Yeah.
We watched the first show. We were actually with our complimentary passes.
Yeah.
We can go watch shows if they're not sold out.
Sure.
We were the last two to get in, right?
Really?
Then
so
the
it was
next-
like pretty busy too.
Very busy, right? And then so the next Saturday, I'm like, dude, we are buying tickets. First of all, give some support.
Yeah.
And number two, I need to watch the show properly.
Really?
I watch it like every year. It's
Wow.
so insanely good.
Yeah.
I if anyone's in Sydney, Steen Ristopoulos, I believe.
Are they based in Sydney?
I believe Steen's based
Okay,
in Sydney,
yeah.
right? So they do shows all over the place. It's called the Bear Pack. If you're in Australia, I'm going to put again. Remember how I was like, oh, Rizal Van Gazel's arrested
Yes,
show, money
and
down.
it was, by the way,
Dude.
it was fantastic.
It was fantastic,
Yeah, you
man.
were there.
I was
yeah,
there,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. 10 out of 10. Like it's actually. It's still probably so far is our highest rated show in terms of like audience feedback so far this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so very, very good. Yeah. So okay,
Same
another
thing, the Bear Pack.
strong recommendation.
Oh my goodness, like their stuff is insane. Just like the way they have that, they can bounce off ideas off each other.
Yeah.
It's so smooth. They just know how to, like, I know where you're going with this, I'll play with
Of
that.
course.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness,
yeah,
man.
yeah. So it's like
Golden.
a well-oiled machine.
Very good.
That's the thing with improv, right? It's like when it works, it's like fantastic.
Yeah, it's gold.
And when it doesn't work, it's really cringy.
Yeah. But these guys, I've never seen them fail.
Really?
Never, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Any like pure stand-up show that you enjoyed? Like last year, we all enjoyed Canan Gill, for example.
Oh, yeah,
and he was like
yeah.
the talk of the town. Anything this year that
This year I didn't watch much straight stand-up simply because the timings didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
Who I wanted to watch weren't there, and yeah, I didn't watch much straight stand-up. I did do like the festival club.
Yeah.
I got a spot over
that's
there.
fun.
That
The
was pretty
Max
cool.
Watts one.
Yeah, the Max Watts
Okay,
one.
how is that?
That was pretty
Explain
cool.
to the audience. Like, the
So
listeners.
basically,
Yeah.
Festival Club or Max Watts is a venue that they give shows at, let's say, 11 p.m. Every night. And the idea is that for comedians who finish their shows can go
Yeah.
down there, have a drink, and watch a show themselves.
Yeah.
And every now and then they'll have like lineup shows. For example, they have, let's say, $10 for 10 comedians, right? So I was on the Tuesday show and they had like, let's say, 10 comedians.
Yeah.
So, go do that thing. You get 5 minutes,
Yeah.
do that spot.
Obviously in English for you.
English, yeah. This one's in English, yeah.
Yeah.
And the cool thing was, I remember I was saying something like, I wanted to say thank you to Melbourne for making sure I don't get culture shock and making
Right.
sure the city looks like Hong Kong.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And people are like, yeah, it's very true. I'm like, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So I did a bunch of that, and it was fun because this was iconic again, where like you're used to sitting in the audience, going like, oh wow, okay, you see all these big names do it, and now you're on that
Now
stage,
you're
like,
on
whoa.
it. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
That was very cool as well.
Yeah. That's a cool spot. Like that's one thing I enjoyed, like
Yeah.
going to after our shows. As you said, like you're just like seeing other comedians.
Yeah.
Sometimes like someone is jumping on stage and coming back to sit
Yeah.
down and stuff like that. So
It's crazy, man.
you came back and right away you're preparing for a couple of big things.
Yeah. So end of June, I have my solo Cantonese show here in Hong Kong with this time LCSD. Let me read that exactly.
Yes.
LCSD is the Leisure and Cultural Services Department of Hong Kong.
Sounds
they have a thing-
unfunny.
There you go. And then it's part of the Culture Fest 2025, the Hong Kong Pop Culture Fest 2025
Yeah.
festival, right? So actually, they reached out to me. They're like, hey, we'd love to do some stand-up comedy at the festival, making it, you could probably say it's the first time the Hong Kong government not the Hong Kong government, like more
Yeah.
like a government organization.
Like actually sponsors or runs.
Kinda, yeah,
really,
yeah. It's part of their program.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so they were like, oh, we want to try some stand-up comedy. And initially, I told them to make like a lineup show, a bunch of
Yeah.
Cantonese comedians. Like,
Yeah.
no, we want you. I was
Just
like, okay,
you.
just me.
Okay.
So that's the big thing. I'm actually going to be performing at the Sheung Wan Civic Center
All right.
theater.
It's right above the cooked food center.
Yeah,
so you can
exactly,
go
yeah.
right
get some
down.
meal. Yeah, go right
exactly.
down. However, it's a Cantonese show. I'll be performing on the 27th, 28th, and 29th of June.
Yeah.
Giving me a month and a half to finish selling out tickets. So far, 1/3 of the tickets are gone.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
so far so good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got it's
Yeah,
a
we're
400.
basically like the first week of May.
Yeah.
Or like 10th of May today.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's basically the theater is a 480 seater.
Yeah.
I've sold around like 450 tickets, I think.
All right.
So far, yeah. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
far so good.
Amazing.
Yeah, so if you have any Cantonese friends that you think would like a good laugh, this show will be part of the Australian comedy tour content.
Yeah.
And it will be a lot of.
I don't
do with, like,
imagine people who watched you in Australia
will
would
come here.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but then there's a lot of content because like this is the Hong Kong Pop Culture Festival, so they want a bit like about Hong Kong related stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that I got a
Yeah,
ton
of course,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
not worried about that, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
You have. In fact, you probably have to worry about which bits
to keep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which bits
Yeah.
to put aside. So a lot of that show in Cantonese will be joking about all the silly things we do in Hong Kong. From like my classic thing. I'm not gonna do the bit, but like the classic thing of like press the door close button and lift.
Yes.
To like let's say when you're on the escalator and someone stands in front of you on the left side, you breathe heavily.
Sure.
You don't say excuse me. You just go. Right, stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
silly things like that will be all
Okay.
in that show. So yeah, come on down. If you have a friend or a loved one or an enemy that speaks Cantonese, send
Yeah.
them over lcsd.funnyvivek.com.
I would send my previous landlady.
Yeah, tell her, go
she's my
laugh.
enemy.
God,
Yes,
just do
exactly.
that. Yeah, and on top of that, dude, this is the other thing. I talked with them. I said, instead of just doing a show, we can do a workshop as well. So I'm actually doing like Cantonese comedy workshops.
Huh.
Yeah.
What does
And
that mean?
So basically, I'll be teaching. A lot of time, they go to universities and different organizations to teach workshops, right? this is going to be the one rare time I do it publicly, where I will be teaching the techniques I use in comedy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so you have that and a lot of these things. So again, if you are interested in comedy, come watch the show. If you want interested in learning how to do comedy yourself, come to the workshop. It's honestly because it's like an LCSD sponsored thing. The prices are way cheaper. Like these are like I actually told them I was like, guys, this is a little bit ridiculous now. Like my most expensive ticket is $388.
Yeah, that's very cheap.
Right? For like a full on 90-minute solo kind of thing. But they were like, no, it's a government thing. We want to. And I told them I appreciate it. I get it. And I know what your objective is. And I agree with you. Let's open it up so more people can experience this.
Yes.
Rather than like it's all about the money and everything. I'm like, fair. I just said as long as it's not too low where people are like, what's wrong with this show?
Yeah.
So it's in the middle ground.
Exactly. You can price it too low.
And they're like,
something.
Something's off about this show, right? So we found a middle ground about this, and everyone's happy. And it's a 400-seat room. Come on, fill it up. And the best thing is that technically I've been to the room. So whether you're sitting in the front row or the middle or even the end, it's pretty damn clear, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So still good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
At Backstage Comedy, we have a bunch of stuff coming up. As you're listening to this Saturday, we have a May 17th. We have a stand-up showcase. I'm hosting it, and there's a bunch of comics. May 23rd, that's I believe that's another strong. Vivek is gonna get behind this one. Daniel Fernandez is coming.
Oh yeah, Daniel Fernandez as well. So he's more of the edgy comedian that is willing to talk about topics and sometimes even make you feel a bit uncomfortable. But the idea is that he's willing to go there. Yeah. So if you're into the like, let's go there. Yeah. He will go there. Yeah. So that's worth checking out as well. He's been touring, I believe, in India already so far.
Yeah, he was actually just in Australia.
Yeah, he
as
did
well.
the Sydney one as well.
Yeah,
we missed each other. Yeah.
Yeah. So Danny is coming on the Friday, May 23rd. Saturday, May 24th, we have Hong Kong as Fuck, which is super fun if you haven't come before. Game show created by Garen Chu, and it's like, it's a panel, kind of like a classic British style panel show in a way, but with a very Hong Kong flavor. We have Jackie Ng coming from Singapore.
He's funny, man.
Yeah, Jackie's great. He's like one of those like fast rising stars in Singapore, and it will be his first time in Hong Kong. 14th we have June 14th we have Drew Freilich coming back to Hong Kong after many years. Drew is we'll get him here on the podcast.
Yeah, he won the comedy competition.
He won in both China and Hong Kong actually. He was based in Shanghai, and he was one of the top guys in Asia for a long time. Yeah. Moved back to Michigan, where he's from, and now he's going to come back and do a show with us. So June 14th, and you will listen to him here on the podcast as well. We have a bunch of stuff. I don't want to go too long, but we have shows on all the way up to September. Just go to the Backstage HK or BackstageComedy.com, and you'll see the whole schedule. One last thing, we actually have 2 different theater shows coming up that we'll announce very soon with 2 different big names. So stay tuned for that. We have not publicly went on sale yet, so we'll announce them when we can. So stay tuned. We're doing good things, and join us on the Patreon, which we're about to record the Patreon now. Patreon.com/ohopod. $5 a month. You get to support some people doing cool stuff in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you next week.